Fusion Mobile, quality e-learning experience on the go.
Hello again and welcome to Fusion Mobile e-learning class. My name is Abubakar Abdul. As always, here we are talking civic education, and in this video we are going to be looking at political apathy. We're going to be looking at the meaning of political apathy, ways of fighting political apathy, dangers of political apathy, forms of political apathy, and reasons for political apathy. Now, when we're talking about political apathy, basically what we're talking about is the indifference on the part of the citizens of a country when it comes to the political process, when it comes to participation in the political process. The indifference on the part of citizens of a country when it comes to participation in its political process. This basically is talking about a situation where citizens in a country do not care about participating in the political process of that country. They don't care about voting, they don't care about what happens politically, they don't care about who the new governor is, who the new councillor is, who the new president is. Whenever they talk about election, they try as much as possible to shy away from that conversation or discussion. They don't care. They are not interested at all in politics, and this is very bad for any country because their vote always counts, but then again they don't even cast it. That's why I see sometimes you see the number of registered voters, it's about, let's say, let's say about 20 million registered voters. And at the end of the election, say presidential election, and you calculate all the number of people who actually voted, that's either for the opposition or the ruling party, and you observe that you have 12 million shared among all the candidates, you still have 8 million people who didn't vote. So this 8 million fall under the basic idea of political apathy. They are people who are not interested in the politics of their country. They are not interested at all. They are indifferent about it. They don't care. So now let us look at the ways of fighting this indifference, way of fighting this lack of interest, so that you will encourage these people to participate in the political process of their country, because you need their votes, we need their votes, so that sometimes you get to find out that the wrong candidate is being elected simply because these 8 million people decide they are not voting. So now, what are the ways to fight political apathy? Some of the ways to fight political apathy include: number 1, mass participation in elections; number 2, stamping out illiteracy; number 3, knowing and defending our rights; number 4, press freedom; number 5, joining popular organizations; number 6, independent judiciary; number 7, serious punishment for electoral riggers; number 8, use of simple voting system; number 9, good governance; number 10, constituency visits; number 11, civic education. All these are ways to fight political apathy. Some people lose the interest in participating in the political process simply because they feel the election is already going to be rigged. They've lost faith in the electoral system. That is why some people just lose the interest in voting entirely. So these ways that we have mentioned, these are the ways that you can actually fight political apathy, so that you can restore that faith in them, you can restore that interest in them, and then they can all come out and vote in mass. Now let us go to dangers of political apathy. Dangers of political apathy. How does political apathy affect us individually and as a country? And the following are some of the dangers of political apathy. Number 1, threat to democracy, of course. Number 2, wrong people in power. I just said it right now. sometimes the wrong candidates get voted for because some people decide they don't want to vote. Number 3, reduction in political participation, obviously. Number 4, corruption. Number 5, loss of confidence and trust. Number 6, lack of accountability. Number 7, slow rate of development. Number 8, abuse of power. Number 9, loss of respect. Number 10, lack of awareness. All this, lack of awareness, loss of respect, abuse of power, all these are dangers of political apathy. These are dangers that we stand to suffer if we allow political apathy to thrive. Now, before we continue, your question is going to pop up on your screen, and please do answer it correctly. Welcome back from that, and I'm confident you answered that question correctly. And now let us move on. Before the question popped up, we were talking about the dangers of political apathy, and now let us continue from the forms of political apathy we have. Now, when we're talking about forms of political apathy, of course, we're talking about in what ways we observe political apathy in our country or in our nation or so. How do we say, okay, this is as a result of political apathy? Number 1, we have refusal to register and vote. Number 2, refusal to belong to political parties. Number 3, unwillingness to contest election. Number 4, refusal to sponsor a candidate or political party. Number 5, non-involvement in electioneering campaigns. Number 6, unwillingness to cross-check names on the voters register. Number 7, refusal to vote during election. Number 8, refusal to protest against election malpractice. All these are forms of political apathy. These are ways that people actually involve or indulge in political apathy. Refusal to vote, refusal to register, refusal to do anything in case of electoral malpractices, refusal to sponsor any candidate, refusal to contest for any election. All these are forms of political apathy. And then the last one we have here is the reasons for political apathy. Okay, we've seen ways to fight political apathy. We've seen the dangers, how political apathy is going to affect us. We've seen how we go about indulging ourselves in political apathy. Now, why? What are the reasons for political apathy in any given country? The following are some of the reasons. Number 1, bad governance. When there's bad governance, of course, people would lose interest in the political process of that nation. Number 2, unfulfilled political promises. When presidents, governors, councillors, everybody is making promises that they, at the end of their tenure, do not fulfill them. People lose their faith, people lose their trust, people lose the interest in going out and voting for anybody because they just assume everybody is just going to lie, make some promises that they are never going to keep. Number 3, political culture. Number 4, illiteracy, obviously. Number 5, discrimination against women. That is another reason why a lot of women don't come out to vote, because especially if you go to northern parts of the country, and even some other parts of the country in the south, in the west, this is really a common trend, especially in the rural areas. You observe that husbands don't allow their wives come out to vote because they are being discriminated. They're saying, why are they coming out to vote? What's the use of them coming out to vote? And all that. So because they don't want to be discriminated anymore, they just decide, you know what, I've lost interest in the political process. I don't want to even come out and vote, because if I do, I'm going to be insulted. So that is another reason for political apathy. We have violence during elections, of course. Some people just want to stay at home because they think the election is going to be violent. Violence is going to erupt any moment when they go out, so they are safer at their houses. Number 7, rigging of elections. And then finally, inadequate independence of the judiciary. The judiciary is not always as independent as it should be. And since people believe, or people see that the decision of the judiciary is always influenced by an outer source, by an outside person, they feel, you know what, why should we even stress this? When at the end of the day, when the issue goes to court and we say, no, we are actually the real winners, we are still, at the end of the day, the decision of the judiciary is going to be influenced by a totally third party who is not even directly involved in the case. So people lose interest in politics and the political process of a nation, thereby falling into political apathy. That's basically what we're going to cover in this video as regards political apathy. Remember, we looked at the meaning of political apathy, where we said it is the situation where citizens are no longer interested in participating in the political process of their country. And then we looked at ways of fighting political apathy, dangers of political apathy, we looked at the forms of political apathy, and then finally we looked at the reasons for political apathy. That's basically what we're going to cover in this video, and I hope it has been very educating to you. Remember, if you're lost at any point, just go back to the beginning of the video and watch it all over again. Some questions are going to pop up on your screen right now. Please do answer them correctly. Till I see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.